Hello, this is Cathode Cat, and in this video I'm going to be doing some painting, some making Immunocal in the morning, and cooking, as well as talking about my amazing life experience. So the area that I live in here is kind of considered to be a ghetto area. I was homeless for some time, so I needed to find a place really quickly, and this place was fairly cheap in comparison to other places, and the conditions were pretty good. And there's very few places where I can find a decent looking room in a decent looking house. Honestly, I was just ready to take whatever was available. But this house is pretty efficient. It only has enough room in it to do the basic things. Like, there's no dining area, it's just the kitchen. But the balcony is pretty big, so I'm here out on the balcony. And they recently built a subway here. But very often, what I noticed about this place is that there's garbage on the streets, and sometimes I see furniture, and I think the reason for that, I don't know, I might be wrong, is probably bed bugs. People probably have infestations of bed bugs in their homes. So, there's different types of ticks. Ticks are able to survive even in winters these days, because winters have gotten very warm and soggy. But there's also something called soft ticks, and they can be carried by mice and rats. And this neighborhood isn't very clean. On my way to North York General Hospital when I was first bitten by the tick, there was this guy in the bus. He was screaming very loudly. There was a tick on my face, and they didn't believe me. And he was screaming this very loud. Even if people know that they have Lyme's disease here, no one's getting any help, because people would rather just ridicule you and tell you that you don't have Lyme's disease. You know, so they shut them up, and people who are infested with Lyme's disease are more likely to be aggressive. So no wonder this place is full of crime. I'm constantly hearing sirens. I'm constantly hearing women screaming on the street, especially at night. And I think yesterday I heard the police screaming, like, right next to my house, like, I don't remember what they were yelling, like, put your hands up or something like that. There's lots of crime here. And these walnuts are delicious. Holy cow, I almost ate an entire thing of walnuts and 2 pears. Wow. Well, it's quite tasty. So yeah, there's an oil refinery close by. I think it's either an oil refinery or an oil processing plant. And there's a high pressure oil pipeline and telephone wires that sizzle when it rains, and even when it doesn't rain, you can still kind of hear them making noise. I don't know how good that is for some people's health that live here. Oh yeah, and I think we live like quite close to an airport, which is why I'm constantly hearing airplanes flying over the roof. So here I'm making myself a salad out of yellow peppers with some salt, oregano, and olive oil. I use Himalayan pink salt and sometimes garlic salt. And I'm frying up some mushrooms with onions. And again, I use garlic salt, Himalayan salt, olive oil, and oregano. So what I do is I just chop up the onions and I chop up the mushrooms. I believe I also put celery in here. I think these are mushrooms as well with celery. And I just throw everything into the frying pan and fry it up. I think usually it takes me like 10 minutes on the stove. And to make sure it doesn't burn, I put plenty of onions and vegetables and salt, and then they kind of release their own juices. I put plenty of olive oil, and if it starts to run out of fluid, then I either squirt some lemon or I pour some vinegar so that it doesn't dry up and stick to the pan. Sometimes I just add a little bit of olive oil, or a lot, depending on how likely it is to fry and stick to the frying pan, or to turn black and stick to the frying pan. So I'm having this with sauerkraut, so I put some sauerkraut on top of the salad, which is a source of probiotics, and I'm also enjoying a bit of horseradish. It's very spicy. And in this video segment here, I'm cutting up some garlic. Like I said, I take 16 cloves of garlic a day, 8 at one point and then 8 later on in the day. So here I'm just chopping up 8 cloves of garlic. I let that garlic sit on the windowsill and aerate for 10 minutes. I don't know, I got that from some blog or forum or something. So it doesn't hurt, just let it sit for 10 minutes when you chop it up nice and small. Make sure it gets plenty of oxygen. And then I just gobble that up with some plantain chips, because I find it hard to eat garlic without some kind of starch. Like, some people recommend just drinking it with water. I don't know how good that is for your stomach. I can't really eat garlic alone with vegetables because it's too spicy, and then I end up not chewing the vegetables very well. So I just eat it with plantain chips or sometimes with lentils or something. So in this video segment, I'm going to show you how I make Immunocal in the mornings. Immunocal is a whey protein isolate with bonded cysteine. It's supposed to help to maintain a strong immune system. Cysteine gets used up very quickly in the body because of the lifestyle that people are living. And that's why people are always getting sick and their immune system is very weak.
making 2 packets for today. Basically, this comes with the packets when you get it, the packets, and this cup here so you can mix it. You're not supposed to mix it in the blender because the protein falls apart if you heat it up, or if you put it in a blender and you mix too hard in the blender, then the protein falls apart. It's very unstable. And you're supposed to drink this on an empty stomach before breakfast and not eat breakfast, I think, for an hour after drinking this, so it gets absorbed easier. This protein is very unstable and it falls apart very quickly. It's really annoying to shake it that much. You can mix it with anything, I'm pretty sure. Like you can mix it with orange juice, or I'm using almond milk. And you can just mix it with regular milk if you like regular milk. Cheers.
Okay, now I'm going to show you how I paint. This time I decided to paint outside as it was fairly sunny. It started to rain, so I waited until the next day and continued to paint this painting. I will tell you more about this painting in my next vlog if you tune in, so please stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed watching this vlog, and I hope you tune in again next time. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. It will help me a lot, and any like and subscribe will be greatly appreciated.